Thanks for joining us today at 4 o'clock. I'm Caitrin Assaf. The Supreme Court's decision today will have far-reaching implications affecting every corner of the country. You can see on this map the locations of all of these incidents, every single one marked in red. That's where a death occurred. Very quick briefing there from Chief Helton of LRPD, but we did get some new information in that officer-involved shooting. We have more context as to that situation, finding out that it was involving someone who was possibly suicidal. But we just saw Chief Keith out there at the fair soaking up all this beautiful weather we've been having, but that's also where we find KARK's Haven Hughes. Legislative priorities that you mentioned, I know she's already previously said education, tax cuts will be kind of her main priority. Anything out of the ordinary during her oath of office address today? We're getting right into breaking news today. This is out of Little Rock. There has been a plane crash near Clinton National Airport. Well, Pat, it sounds like if people are going to be out and about this weekend, Saturday may be the best day. Both Samantha and Andrew will stay on scene to give us updates. Remember, you can follow us both on air and online for the latest on this developing situation. When we talk about cybersecurity attacks, specifically those that would target businesses or individuals, what exactly are we talking about? This is an adorable story. It was a homecoming for a sea turtle in Alabama that turned into a massive community event. And since Mother Nature stops for no one, we have more bad weather on the way. Meteorologist Juliana Cullen joining me now. Jules, what else do we have in store coming up? As we come on air, the Justice Department is releasing redacted documents related to the search warrant executed at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. And with razor margins in multiple races, some argue the country's youngest voters could ultimately decide who comes out victorious. And Donna, a tremendous effort from the community and of course from Team 20 during the We Are Strong tornado relief effort. Is there anything viewers need to know for us to get involved? It's been one heck of a season for the Arkansas Razorback football team. 4 trophies and a bowling ball named Larry are now sitting on the hill. We had a warm Christmas, a pretty warm New Year's, and all of a sudden it's like all of that winter that we missed is coming back in full force.
This is KARK4 News at 4.
The focus on tornadoes continues Wednesday, as many of the hardest hit areas are still picking up the pieces left behind. Thanks for watching KARK4 News at 4. I'm Caitrin Assaf. We have team coverage this evening as we work to provide you with the latest recovery efforts across the state. KARK4's Jessica Rank waiting out in Sherwood to give us a glimpse of storm damage there. But first, we're sending it over to our Samantha Boyd live in Little Rock. Samantha, what are you seeing? All right, Samantha, thank you for keeping us updated out there in Little Rock. Now, this rain we got today is making things very difficult for homeowners in Sherwood who are still trying to clean up following Friday's tornado. Jessica Rank joining us live from Sherwood now. Jessica, a few neighborhoods there got hit pretty hard. All right, Jessica, hopefully with clearer skies, it'll be a little bit easier for them there. Now, we do want to remind folks who live in Cross, Lonoke, and Pulaski counties that you can apply for money to help rebuild or replace what was lost in the storms. If you scan this QR code, you'll be taken to our website where a link to apply for federal aid is located. And for those of you wondering what to expect when you apply for that assistance, FEMA personnel will ask for a current phone number, your address at the time of the disaster, the address where you're now staying, your social security number, and a general list of damage and losses. Plus, banking information if you do choose to do a direct deposit. Applicants are required to inform FEMA of all insurance coverage that may be available to you during that disaster-related needs. And if you'd like to help volunteer with cleanup efforts in North Little Rock, there's a sign-in location at 1300 Pike Avenue. That'll be open from 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. each day. All volunteers are asked to sign in at that location before helping out with tornado relief efforts across the city. And new today as the work of volunteers continues across the state, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and a group of Arkansas lawmakers stopped by one Little Rock Resource Center, thanking those lending a helping hand. Sanders was joined by representatives from FEMA, Pulaski County, Little Rock, and Senator John Bozeman. The group toured efforts at the Little Rock City Center to sort and distribute donations and gave an update about how recovery efforts are going across central Arkansas. Sanders once again thanked volunteers, saying their selflessness is incredible.
Each one of us has talked about, seen, and noticed firsthand just the outpouring of support from local churches, nonprofits, but also the tremendous cooperation between city, state, and federal.
Senator Bozeman also mentioned the Arkansas congressional delegation is watching the federal response to make sure the natural state gets as much help as possible. And Sanders said she's still waiting to see if the federal government will cover 100% of recovery costs within that first month, but said some who have filed claims with FEMA already have already gotten that funding. And in the midst of all the damage and heartbreaking news, here is a story of hope. One couple in Wynn leaving a big impact on the neighborhood after they helped multiple people escape that deadly tornado that came through town last week. The husband going door to door, encouraging more than a dozen people to seek shelter in his basement. Shay Arthur brings us this remarkable story and just how big of a difference they actually made. Wow. Now, Kevin doesn't see himself as a hero, but I believe we certainly do. Remember that our goal here at KARK4 News is to keep the community informed as we all work together to rebuild. Tornado coverage continues throughout the day, and of course, our website is available to you 24/7, even when we're not on air. And the community as a whole is still trying to pick themselves back up after last Friday's tornado disaster. Coming up, the story of one heavily impacted Little Rock business and those who were inside when the storm hit, where recovery efforts stand and how you can help. Plus,
everybody said this is not really an indictment. There's nothing here.
Reaction continues to pour in after yesterday's historic arrest of former President Donald Trump. The latest from Washington, D.C.